Now the Warriors just inbound, and that's it. There's a new NBA champion, and it's a team from Toronto, Canada. We, the North, are now we, the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
Kawhi. You could have had this again, but you had to go to the Clippers, who might be the worst franchise in all of sports. You left great role players in Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, and way more for pandemic Pepper Lou and Patrick Beverley, one of the most overrated defenders. What's up guys, it's your boy, and in today's video, I will be giving 5 reasons why Kawhi Leonard should have stayed with the Toronto Raptors. Please like the video to show support, subscribe to the channel to help me reach 500 subscribers before the end of 2020, and comment to start a conversation with me. And play that intro. The first reason why I think Kawhi should have stayed in Toronto is because straight up, in Toronto, he had a better supporting cast. In LA, Kawhi had to be amazing on offense and amazing on defense. But in Toronto, Kawhi had Kyle Lowry, who is one of the best playmakers and leaders in the league, which is something the Clippers lacked this whole season. He also had Fred VanVleet, who was a guard who can hit big shots in the playoffs. He also had Pascal Siakam, who I think fits best as a second option and would have been really good alongside Kawhi. He also had 2 great defensive centers in Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, who could have helped him stretch the floor. OG Anunoby and Norman Powell are 2 lockdown defenders who can shoot. So in Toronto, Kawhi had many offensive and defensive players. And the thing is, Toronto in the playoffs had actually shown that they can mesh properly together, with them winning the 2019 NBA championship. When Kawhi left to go to the Clippers, he went to join a Paul George, who he thought was a top 10 player, but instead he got a Paul George who went 4 for 16 in a Game 7 and hit the side of the backboard. When Kawhi went to LA, he thought he was getting 2 of the best bench players in the whole NBA, in Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell, but in the playoffs, he got 2 bench players in Lou, who shoots 14% from 3, and Montrezl, who averaged less than 3 rebounds as a center. Kawhi also thought he was getting one of the best guard defenders in Patrick Beverley, but instead he got a flopper who can't control his emotions. Point is, Kawhi's supporting cast was way better in Toronto, and they all fit well together. The second reason why I think Kawhi should have stayed in Toronto is because he left the top 3 coach in the league in Nick Nurse to go join one of the most overrated coaches in the NBA in Doc Rivers, who was only employed and viewed in high regard because he coached the 2008 Boston Celtics, who won the NBA championship. But a lot of people fail to realize that that championship was won by pure talent, and Doc wasn't even the most important coach on the team. That was Tom Thibodeau. Doc is the only coach to blow 3 3-1 leads in his career. His first one came coaching the Orlando Magic with a prime T-Mac, and he blew a 3-1 lead to the Detroit Pistons. His second blown 3-1 lead came famously in 2015 against the Houston Rockets when he was coaching the LA Clippers. And then this season, he blew a 3-1 lead coaching the LA Clippers, and they blew it to the Denver Nuggets. He went and joined a coach who notoriously blows 3-1 leads, and left a coach who made a defensive scheme that led his team to a top 3 defense this year. He also just straight up left the coach of the year. This is one of the least talked about factors to Kawhi leaving Toronto, but you should never underestimate how important a coach is. My third reason to why Kawhi should have stayed in Toronto is because the East was surprisingly open this year. Like, look at the conference finals this year. It's Miami and Boston. You can't tell me with how good Toronto has been without Kawhi this year, and how they were 1 game away from the conference finals, that if they had Kawhi on their roster, they wouldn't have beaten Boston with or without Gordon Hayward. Like, the only thing Toronto was missing was an elite shot creator who could have given them a bucket anytime, just like Kawhi. I believe Toronto with Kawhi this season would have made it to the finals and possibly have won the championship, but I don't know if they would win in the future. That's why I think Kawhi should have signed a one-year deal for the Raptors. The West is not open, with every team being good, so Kawhi should have stayed in the East, and he probably would have made it to the finals rather than lose in the second round in such embarrassing fashion. Fourth reason I believe Kawhi should have stayed in Toronto is because although hindsight vision is 2020, if you look at how good Toronto has been without him, being on pace for 60 wins and a better record than they had last year with Kawhi, Toronto without a superstar was the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, with Boston, Indiana, Miami, and Philadelphia all being expected to be a higher seed than them. Toronto made it all the way to the second round without him in a Game 7. If a few things went right for them, they could have possibly won the game and advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like on Van Vliet's game-winning attempt, they could have just given the ball to Kawhi, or maybe having them wouldn't even lead to there being a Game 7. This Raptors squad was a top 3 team in the association, and you're crazy if you don't think Kawhi had a better chance at winning a ring in Toronto, especially with how good they have played this whole entire season. The fifth and final reason I believe Kawhi should have stayed with the Toronto Raptors is because the Clippers organization straight up sucks. They have no championships and no NBA Finals appearances. They haven't even been out the second round. This organization is clearly cursed, and Kawhi should have seen this and known to stay away. This last reason wasn't an actual reason, but I just wanted to acknowledge how sad this organization is. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. Don't forget to like the video because it will mean a lot. Subscribe to help me reach 500 subscribers before the end of 2020, and comment on this video to start a conversation with me. Also check these 2 videos up above if you like this one, and I'm out.